Israel is forever. Israel is forever. Israel is forever. Angels are listening to every word you say. Angels are listening to every word you say. So what you gonna say to Israel? What you gonna say to Israel? Israel is forever. Israel is forever. Everybody, would you say it now? Say, Israel is forever. You believe it? Say it again. Israel is forever. Now, you know that Israel was chosen. God himself raised it from the dust. God himself said to Abraham, forever, forever, forever. Say, Israel is forever. Say, rejoice, come on. Say, Israel is forever. Say it again. Israel is forever. I want you to shout forever. Say forever. What the powers of hell to you. Say it again. Now let's celebrate in the victory that he's given us. Come on. Come on. Say it. Rejoice. Come on. Come on. Yeshua forever. Yeshua is forever. Say Yeshua. Yeshua is forever. Say it again. Yeshua is forever. Say it again. Yeshua is forever. His kingdom is forever. His kingdom is forever.
Well, Shabbat Shalom, everybody. We just looked back again at a beautiful moment with Kim from the Sea of Galilee. Those are always really amazing to see and definitely bring faith to our hearts. But there is so much happening in Israel right now. And so Doobie and I are going to be talking about all of the latest events going on. Doobs, let's start with what took place with Israel taking out certain assets in Syria. Why don't you tell me about that?
Well, you know, this is really interesting that Kim was speaking, singing, and prophesying from the Sea of Galilee, because I just came back now from the northern fronts of Israel. I've been touring around that area for the last 4 days. And last night, right above the Sea of Galilee, we heard a lot of noises. I slept there in that area, and we heard a lot of noises of jet fighters and sonic, supersonic booms, and we didn't know exactly what was going on. And then later on, of course, we woke up in the morning and we understand that the Israeli Air Force took down some storages in Syria where they were having weapons of the Iranian Revolutionary Guards that was actually about to be shipped to Lebanon. All kinds of different elements to turn their missiles into much more accurate missiles.
Yeah.
And that was what's going on yesterday, which is unbelievable. They've done it before, but this was like in the middle of the night. And you woke us up.
That's crazy. And obviously, we know the intentions behind all of these different people and what they're wanting to do to Israel. But something else big happened this week. There's been so many weeks of protesting about judicial reform, and Doobie and I were just talking before the recording. But Doobs, why don't you tell us about what's happened and the big shock that took place in the Knesset vote yesterday? Well, today, actually.
That's actually today. Yes, you're right. I mean, this is really a big shock because, while the Benjamin Netanyahu and the Likud party was compromising with the opposition, and they went to the president to discuss the changes at the legal system and nominating judges and all the things, all the issues that are on the table right now. The coalition was open-minded, and they went there with pure heart, actually, to sit down, even though they have the majority. But they've seen that the left and the opposition is organizing every week protests, and this cripples the economy of Israel because what can I tell you? These are very wealthy people on that side, and they always go against the government because they don't want to pay so many taxes, so they're always against the government. So all these games, now the opposition always gives them promises and umbrellas. Long story short, that he could going there pure-hearted to discuss the situation. And in the meantime, today there was a voting in the Knesset about this committee that nominates judges. The nominee of the opposition was elected. The nominee of the coalition wasn't elected, which is shocking because it means that some of the members of the coalition broke the discipline. They betrayed their friends. They betrayed their mandate, and they voted against the government of Israel. And if something like this will happen again, I mean, what I'm afraid of is that the coalition will try to the opposition will try to make leverage out of this, and they're going to call a voting against the government. And once there'll be a voting against the government, if this will pass, the government will topple. This will be the end of it, and they'll go to new elections. So what's going to happen is literally if the opposition is going to call another voting against the government, and somebody will go astray again, and they'll betray the government, the coalition members. That's it. The government will be dissolved. The Knesset will be dissolved, and there'll be new elections coming again. So that's very risky.
It's horrifying, and that's something we definitely need to focus on praying into, because we need Israel to be stable and strong right now. Speaking of, last week or the week before, we were talking to you about this whole capacity for hypersonic missiles that it looks like Iran has now got. Why don't we talk about that, Doobs?
Yeah, so obviously we spoke about it, and we've seen the photos, the footage of what they have. So they claim, but then we also shown that the Minister of Defense of Israel, Gallant, was saying that Israel can deal with that. So today there was a formal announcement by Rafael, which is the government's developing corps for weapons, that they are starting to develop an interceptor for the hypersonic missiles. And it means that when they announce something like this, it means that they already have it. So here you go. And this is very encouraging to know that they are already able to do whatever needs to be done to intercept the rockets. So, by the way, another news broke today saying that last year was a record year for Israeli defense industries, and they sold over $12.5 billion of weapons and systems from Israel to the world. That's unprecedented. This is a huge number. And we, if you allow me, speaking about what was happening in Syria when Israel shot down those, those convoys and the storages,
weapon storage.
Speaking about speaking about the development of hypersonic missiles by Iran, which definitely this is Russian technology that has been leaking there. And Iran is building outside of Moscow. Iran is helping the Russians to build a special suicidal drone factory over there, manufacturing together with them.
Wow.
We're seeing the collaboration between Russia and Iran right now getting tighter and tighter. And speaking about those weapons that are concealed in Syria, that belongs to the Iranian revolutionary corps. We are hearing today an announcement that next month the Minister of Foreign Affairs, all the 4 vice ministers of foreign affairs of Syria, of Russia, Iran, and Turkey that are going to meet in Kazakhstan. I mean, if this is not Armageddon by their names, I don't know what it is. This alliance is getting tighter and stronger. And to see that Turkey with Erdogan that just was elected, and I told you already in our last reports that this is bad, this guy is going to form a tyranny. We're starting to see what side he's choosing. If some of you don't know why I'm so moved and taken by this and really worried by this, is because he's a member of NATO. They have access to NATO secrets. They have access to NATO plans and weapons. And now they're going to meet with Iran, with Syria, with Russia. How can NATO and the United States
allow this?
Allow this? The most dangerous thing in the world.
And like you're saying, it feels apocalyptic. It feels like the forces of Armageddon coming together. And that's why I find it so interesting, because there are all these things going on. And going back to the beginning of the broadcast, Kim prophesying, Israel, you will live. We know that a commonality, a common denominator between all these nations, and there are others, is this deep hatred for Israel, a deep hatred for the United States of America. And it's ultimately because there's a hatred of God. And the heart of God, the love of God is being poured out into Israel. So for everybody watching, we want to be able to be part of the solution. And so I'm encouraging you, if you're not yet an Israel partner, consider joining up, consider, being part of that. I've just done a new teaching series that's exclusive for the Israel partnership called When Good People Fall. And I'm looking at all these characters in the Bible and looking at their strengths and their weaknesses and learning from these things. And so I'm encouraging you, if you haven't yet, sign up, become a partner, give into Israel, sow into Israel. We've got so many plans, there's so many things that we want to do. And, we used to be able to do crazy, amazing things when Kim was here. But I know for Doobie and I both, we want to get back to that place of where when there's a need, you and us together are able to meet it. So there's a red link that's been coming up below your screen. Please click that, give into what we're doing, sow into the nation of Israel. And like you're hearing from Doobie, there are literally apocalyptic things happening. There's starting to be rumblings of things all around us. And we want to be people who stand with Israel no matter what, in the face of any difficulty, in the face of any adversity, no matter what it is that these nations are saying and doing. We are people who stand with Israel. I'm Yisrael Chai, it's always. Look me, I'm wearing my necklace today. I've got a new one. I've got all the things, but I love it so much. And it's where my heart lives always. From the time I went to Jerusalem for the first time, I've never been the same. And I say to Doobie all the time, say hello to my heart for me, because that's where it lives. And so I'm encouraging you to join with us. And so keep watching. Every week, we're going to bring you the latest breaking things. We're going to keep our eye on what's going on. And we'll be back with you next week for a more in-depth reports of everything that's happening with Israel politically, with what's going on with the enemy nations surrounding her. But don't give up hope. Don't stop giving. Don't stop praying. Don't stop standing with us. We love you. God bless you. We'll see you next week, Friday.
Over 40 years ago, Kim and I embarked on a ministry journey that has now become a global network through the power of the internet. As part of this pioneering work, we are gathering people from all over the world to worship together, grow in our faith, and inspire hope through an uplifting message. We are dedicated to reaching out with God's message of hope and love to all without discrimination or judgment. We invite you to join our House of Destiny free membership that allows you to connect with members from around the world. Through our prayer wall, you can post your requests and have others join us in prayer. It's so powerful when the saints gather and believe for a breakthrough. We invite you to join today. Simply click the online church login and sign up. Partnerships are vital to our global outreach, enabling us to take the love and hope of Jesus Christ to those who need it most. Our Boots on the Ground Partnership Program physically ministers to those in desperate situations all over the world. The Israel Partnership furthers Kim's legacy of outreach to Israel and Jewish people worldwide. We invite you to become a partner today. We are here for you, and we have worked hard to provide the resources and tools to help you grow in your faith. Join us today and be part of a community that inspires hope, brings restoration to life, and often healing from the past. Together, we can make a difference, and we thank you for your ongoing support.